My name is Brian Adams, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my tool that I made for my honours project for at university. So for my honours project, I decided to research whether you could or could not use procedural generation to speed up the level creation process. So the idea is that a level creating a level in games takes a lot of time, money, resources, and a lot of man hours, and it's very resource intensive. And so I wanted to see if I could make a tool which sped up that process while also still having a handcrafted feel. So I understand with my abilities, I wouldn't be able to craft a experience that would be the same as a hand designed experience by a designer. So the idea is that the tool creates like a base layer, or one of the industry terms would be gray box, which is basically like a shell of what the level is going to look like, and it's just a simplistic version of the level, and then it can be built on top of. So the idea is that instead of having multiple designers, multiple artists, you could click the button, get the map that you want, and then manually alter it and add content as you see fit. So the goal isn't to deliver a finished level with this tool, it's to deliver like a template that then a level designer can build on top of. Now, this tool is just a 2D representation of the maps that it makes. The goal is to make first-person shooter levels that of like Doom or Wolfenstein. And the tool is made in C++, within, and it's using a library called SFML, which I use to basically display the map and all the sprites and stuff like that. And I use IMGUI for the user interface. So the idea is that you, I've made the tool non-platform specific because I want everyone to use it. I want my tool to be accessible to everyone. So the tool isn't made within Unity, isn't made within Unreal. The idea is that the user can make the maps in my tool and then export them to a text file, which is what the save button does. And then they most modern game engines can read text files. So instead of limiting it to being Unreal or Unity, both of them can use this tool. And also, there's other tools out there that use the way I've written my files to a text file. Basically, each tile represents a number, and it's saved within a text file or a CSV. So it means that basically doing that makes it that the format that I save the maps in more readable and also easy to use, and also other tools use the same format. So stuff that my tool doesn't do, you could possibly achieve by taking the map that you get from my tool and using it in someone else's tool. So it's very accessible. So I'll go over the generation. So I use a BSP tree to separate the overall size of the map into cells, which is basically it separates it into the number of cells for the number of rooms that you want, and then you can change the size of the rooms. And so if we display the rooms, we can generate, and it just divides the map up into sections. And then the rooms are told basically you belong to the cell. You can't. You're when you get generated, you can't be bigger than this cell. And in the hallways, I use a thing called a drunk walker, which is it spawns at a location and it's told typically walkers spawn and they just randomly move, but there's not enough control over that. So what I did was I made an altered walker, which has like a weighted sum. So walkers typically go 25. They have a 25% chance to move in each cardinal direction, but obviously you don't have enough control over that. So what I did was I made it that you give the walker a start position, which is the room you want to connect, and then another room that you want to connect, which is the goal position of the walker, and it calculates the direction the walker should move based on the direction the room it is going to is in. And so instead of it being 25%, 25%, 25%, it's weighted more in the direction of where it should be going. So it's still random, but it's guaranteed to always get there. So that's kind of the generation. There's a few other things, but I won't go over those. And so let's see. So we can change how many rooms we want. We can go, okay, I want 20. Generate gives you 20. You can say you want them to be bigger rooms, so then the rooms are obviously bigger. You can get some interesting looking maps where like all the rooms kind of merge and it looks like just one big massive boss room. Um, So yeah, that's pretty much the generation stuff. I have some loot spawning, but it's quite primitive, so I won't go over that. Um, and then I discovered that hey, maybe people want to like edit their maps before they take them into Unity and Unreal. So what I did was I added this tile placer, so you could go, okay, I like this level, but I think that these two rooms should be connected in a certain way. So you could just do that, place the floor, then you could place a wall, then you could place another wall, and then there you go, you've got a connection, and then you could go, okay, maybe I want this to be a dead end. You can do that. Um, and yeah, that's basically the tool set here. You can place enemies, you can place loot. So that's basically the overall what you can do with this. I'll quickly just generate like a few maps so you can see it's generating maps over and over. And some of them are interesting, and I do think they have quite an interesting structure. Like they do, apart from Doom levels being quite angular and having like different shapes, the actual structure of like the hallways and the rooms connecting, I feel like it's quite close. So what we'll do here is we'll save this. We'll put a start point. We'll put an end point. Um, Now these maps can be opened in Unity and Unreal, but currently the version of Unity I'm using isn't the same that I made the project in. So I can't load these into Unity currently on video, but it does work, just not on this version of Unity that I have. But I have a solution for that, which still proves the point. So we'll save the map, and what we'll do is we will open this, and I shall change the tab to be that, and that level we just made is right here. So you can run around, you can jump, you can shoot, and the level that I just made in Unity, made in my tool, we can play in like a very simplistic first-person shooter kind of setting. And you can see that it's the same level that we just created in the tool moments ago. The same principles can be applied to how you can edit this in Unity. So, like I said, I can't show that because the version of Unity I have on this PC isn't the same as the one I built the project in. But the idea is these walls are all prefabs. You can just change what the prefab represents, and it will change every single wall that's there, and you can change what the floors represent. There's the map in game, and then here's the final map. Well, here's the map in the tool, and then here's the map in the game, and you can see that they're the same map. Yeah, future work I would like to change the this, so instead of it using a BSP tree, I'd like it to maybe use a KD tree. Um, because BSP trees, I would have to rebuild the whole tree if I wanted to resize one of these cells. Whereas with a KD tree, if I did it, it would do it all dynamically. I would also like to add possibly move to 3D because obviously there's a disconnect between this information and the 3D information. But from feedback I've had from people at the graduate show where I showed this off, people liked how simple it was to use. So what I'm thinking of for a solution, because currently obviously it's just one floor, but Doom levels have multiple floors, is adding an option where you can add multiple floors, and then basically you just have to click on which floor you want to edit at a time. And then all it does is before you save, it makes sure that you've added staircases so all the floors are connected. But yeah, that's pretty much the project. Thanks for taking the time to look over it and see it.